After I retired, I applied to voluntary service overseas, VSO. They recruited me, and I went to Cambodia, and I worked with a local NGO that was involved in maternal health, maternal and child health. As I got more and more involved in maternal health and realised how many women are dying worldwide each year, it's a complete scandal that all these preventable deaths are given such a low profile. So I've spent the 10 years trying to do something towards that. And in Myanmar, the former Burma, working in a midwife training school. Well, what I found in the school was that they were using very, very, very old-fashioned methods. But when I started looking outside the school represented what was going on in society. It's very, very hierarchical. And so people are taught by rote. They're told what they should learn. They learn it. They reproduce it in examinations. And then they go up the system by having learnt, so that they then become at the top of the system and they expect everyone else to listen to them. So it was a very hierarchical system. Within the school, before the exam was very shortly after I first arrived, and so I was around for the revision, and 70 students sat in a classroom wearing their formal uniforms, working in pairs or trios, learning the MOH textbook of obstetrics by rote. The fact that the textbook is 15 years old, both out of date and inaccurate, they have to learn it and reproduce it for their exams. Although I was in a midwife training school, I did almost nothing to train midwives. And I worked with the teachers to teach them contemporary teaching methods, how to engage students, how to help students problem solve, how to help students think about clinical issues, how to help students use computers to get at information. Very early on, particularly the tutors, wanted to learn to use PowerPoint to illustrate their lectures rather than just reading from the Ministry of Health textbook. So early on, I helped them do that. And then the more senior staff realised that the junior staff were getting a better response from the students than they were. So then we ran 2 or 3 workshops on how to make best use of PowerPoint. I think the really sustainable things are 2 or 3 members of staff who I supported. I gave them permission to do what they were always wanting to do. And I think those few individuals are the most likely sustainable bits. We've changed things in the schools, but whether that will continue depends on whether the staff find them useful. Getting them to write some simple study plans of what they were hoping to achieve and how they would achieve it. They may continue that. We got a computer network up and running. That network will break down at some point, and whether they will have access to the skills or the resources to keep it going is questionable. One of the big secrets about volunteering is that the only guaranteed person to benefit from volunteering is the volunteer. I lived in a culture that was delightful with people who were lovely. I got to see a country which, despite its major political problems, has huge amounts to offer, and worked with a delightful group of people in the school who were willing to learn what's not to like.